Hello! I still exist. Let's not even pretend that I am capable of doing regular vlogging in any time other than the month of April, where I'm apparently super successful at doing Veda. This year I've been watching a ton of booktubers and getting really into booktube, and I love booktube and the community and just the whole concept and everything, and I have decided that I am going to start making some booktube-esque vlogs. Obviously, no promises whatsoever about frequency or anything, but this is for me, not for you. I've never really pretended anything else, so... This is the book reader problems tag. Question 1. You have 20,000 books on your TBR list. How in the world do you decide what to read next? I like to think I have a system for this, but the reality is that I don't, and I kind of have reading ADD. But I kind of do have a system set up for what to read next. I got this from a booktuber a while ago. I don't remember which one it was. I also have this TBR jar. And this sits on a shelf in my apartment, and when I am going to the library or going to the bookstore to buy some more books or whatever, or I'm just stuck in a rut and not sure what to read next, I open this up, and this has my entire to-read list from Goodreads on it. So I pull a slip out, and apparently I should read Bloodlines by Rochelle Mead next. I feel like if there's not like some element of chance in my system, then I spend way too much time like thinking about what I want to read next, and then I just get overwhelmed about how I can't read all the books, and then I end up just like rereading stuff or not reading. Question 2. You're halfway through a book and you're just not loving it. Do you quit or are you committed? Now, my stance on this has changed drastically in the last 2 years or so. The person I talk most about reading with is my sister, who is a librarian. And she has to read a ton of books because she's in charge of purchasing for her library. Previously, I was always in the you finish a book if you start it camp. No matter what, you finish it because you started it and you're not a quitter. She is of the camp of, why would you waste your time reading something that you're not enjoying? I've kind of meshed our two camps together, and now I have a rule. And actually Goodreads really helps with this rule because Goodreads tells you what percentage of a book you're through. If I am over a quarter of the way through the book and I am still not enjoying it, then I let myself quit. Question 3. The end of the year is coming and you're so close but so far away on your Goodreads challenge. Do you try to catch up, and how? Last year, 2013, I was really struggling in December to reach it. Yeah, I do try to catch up, so I switched to fiction instead of nonfiction. I maybe read less complex books that I know are going to be quick reads. I might do some rereads because those go faster. I don't do anything like, I don't count picture books on Goodreads or anything, so I don't do any sort of that type of thing, but I do kind of switch to books that I know are going to be faster reads for me. Question 5. Everyone and their mother loves a book that you really don't like. Who do you bond with over shared feelings? I mentioned earlier that the person I talk about books the most with is my sister, and interestingly, we have very different reading tastes. So if we read the same book, probably 7 times out of 10 we have very different feelings about the book. So I'm used to talking to people who don't agree with me about books, and we've actually gotten really good at like knowing how each other's gonna feel about a book and knowing how to be able to talk about it, and to, you know, kind of not offend each other when one of us loved it and one of us hated it. I don't know, I guess I just don't really get bent out of shape about having different feelings about a book than someone else. Like, you're entitled to your opinion on a book, and unless it's Harry Potter, I'm gonna be fine with however you feel about it, because some books are just not for some people. And question 6. You're reading a book and you're about to start crying in public. How do you deal? I am definitely a book crier. I can usually sort of sense that something's coming, and I can just stop reading. The other thing is I don't read in public very much. So I'm usually not reading in public, but if I am and I kind of get that sense that something's coming, I'll stop reading and I'll like go on my phone or something else to pass the time. And if someone's like, why did you suddenly stop reading this book? I'm like, because I can sense that the thing is about to happen and I don't want to be around people when it does. Question 7. I love this question. A sequel of a book you loved just came out, but you've forgotten a lot from the prior novel. Will you reread the book? Skip the sequel? Try to find a synopsis on Goodreads? Cry in frustration? I read so many books that it's so easy to like forget the details of what's happening between publishing dates. And I don't like to waste time rereading all the time. So I just start reading the next book and trust my brain to be like, oh yeah, that's what happened in the last one, cool. The series that this really gets me on, that I really should reread the books when I get the new ones, but I never do for some reason, or I should like read a summary. That's a really good idea. Why did I, I like never thought of that as being an option. But a series that I'm really into is the Lorien Legacies series, or the I Am Number 4 series. I love those books. But the last one, the newest one that I just read, I had read like over a third of the book before I was like, oh yeah, that's what happened at the end of the last one. Like, I was very confused, but like dumb me just kept reading. So I just plow through the book anyways, and even if I'm very confused. Question 8. You do not want anyone borrowing your books. How do you politely tell people nope when they ask? Here's the thing. I do let people borrow most of my books. I don't have a problem with it because I want them to read the books, but I have had several bad experiences with lending books to people. I don't lend books to boyfriends anymore. That's one thing, because I lent my full set of Harry Potter books to a boyfriend, and that was the worst decision of my life. Why would you lend your first edition Harry Potter books to someone? Why was I that stupid? I don't know, but I lent all 7 to him at once, and then he still had them when we broke up, and he had the nerve to say, like, when we broke up, he was like, is it okay if I just keep your Harry Potter books because I'm not finished with the 7th one yet? Oh, if I don't get my Harry Potter books back, I'm going to kill several people. But I did eventually get them back, and it was a very awkward encounter. Now I have 2 sets of Harry Potter books, so I can lend the other set out if I need to. But pretty much I think my new rule is don't lend Harry Potter books out. Then another boyfriend I lent the Hunger Games trilogy to, and guess who no longer owns the Hunger Games trilogy, because yeah, I'm never getting those back. That's fine. So, don't loan books to boyfriends, but friends are okay. Question 9. Reading ADD. You've picked up and put down 5 books in the last month. How do you get over your reading slump? Sometimes I don't. Like, I just don't like to force reading because I really love reading, and I don't ever want it to be something that feels like a chore instead of like a fun thing to do. Question 11. After you've bought the new books you can't wait to get to, how long do they sit on your shelf before you read them? It depends. Like those books that I pre-order and have been anxiously anticipating, they don't make it to a shelf before I read them because I like open the package or whatever or go pick them up and then I open the book and start reading. Others, especially like library book sale books, they'll sit on a shelf for a long time because they were more impulsive buys. Nonfiction tends to sit on the shelf for longer before I get to it because I need to be in the right mood for it. It just depends. I don't know. I don't have a good answer to that question. That was my Reader Problems book tag. I'm going to try and do more reading videos in 2015. I hope you all have a fabulous New Year's, and bye!